Professor David here. I got to talk to you today. Guys, I seen this video with Joe Rogan. Everybody know who Joe Rogan is. He got the biggest podcast out there. He's also a martial artist, okay? He also understands Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a fighter. See, he's a fighter. He made this video, and when you watch this video, listen to the language carefully. He has no respect for the way martial arts is being taught today. Zero. He has no respect for it. In his mind, either you're doing MMA or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like he said, because he clearly says it. You come up against a Jiu-Jitsu guy with all that self-defense shit and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose. He has no respect for the way martial arts is taught today. And I don't blame him, because there's so many people wearing a gi that do not take what they are doing seriously. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it for camaraderie. They're doing it for recreation. They're doing it for relaxation, but they're not doing it for survival. Listen to what he said. Play the video over again to hear what he said.
If someone's really good at jiu-jitsu, good luck stabbing them with your keys. You know, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance. If someone's much better at you and they trip you and get you on your back and then they fucking elbow you in your face and then get a head and arm choke on you, all that Krav Maga shit's out the window, son. You're way better off learning what works on trained killers. Like this whole idea that you're going to poke someone in the eye and then you're going to kick them in the nuts and you're going through these drills that, yeah, it's good to know what to do if you run into someone who doesn't know how to fight. It's way better to know what to do to someone who knows how to fight. That's the best thing. Learn how to fight against people who know how to fight. Like all that practice self-defense and it's going to come at you with a knife. You're going to grab the wrist and do that. Like it's good to know self-defense, but it's much more important to understand martial arts.
Carl McGraw is one of the highest rated self-defense systems out there. And he says, you can't do that Carl McGraw shit against somebody who know how to fight. Because it's better for you to know how to fight against a guy who know how to fight. He go, that self-defense crap must work, meaning what I do and what Carl McGraw is. He said that might work against some guy who don't know nothing. He said, but it won't work against a guy who know how to fight. So let's talk about that. What do I always tell you? Don't fight in a self-defense situation. That's number one. What do I always say? You see what he said? Oh, guy gonna, hey, do this technique, hold the knife, take the knife, turn around, stick it in it. See, those are the kind of bullshit techniques that give the martial arts a bad name. And that's the kind of crap that people are practicing still that give everybody the impression that this stuff ain't real. It's garbage. It don't have value. Because you're training doing crap like that. I take offense to it because this is what I do for a living. And this is what I've been doing for a living. Not part-time. I didn't never have a regular job. This is it. When I left my career, the other thing I was doing for a living, 45 years I've been teaching. And I've taught thousands. And I've taught thousands of law enforcement. I've taught military personnel. I taught every walk of personal protection people, security, private investigating, you name them. 7 different countries. I never had nobody tell me my shit is garbage. My shit don't work. What you got don't have any value. Because I don't present it the way those people present it, the way Joe Rogan seen it. I don't present it that way. You can't look at what I do and say, that crap won't work. Because what I do will work against a fighter. You know why? Because I'm not going to fight a fighter. Because I'm not a fighter. You see, what Mr. Joe Rogan don't understand is that you can't take a non-fighter and make him a fighter. So for you to say You better learn how to fight. If it's better to fight, know how to fight, to get into a fight. No! Because why? You'll never do it as good as a guy who's a real fighter, who's a professional. He still will kick your behind in a fight because that's what he or she does for a living. So you can't tell me that some guy who goes into a boxing gym 2 times a week, 3 times a week, he go down to Gleason's or maybe Rumble and he think he can kick some ass because he trains a couple times a week in boxing or do some MMA training in the UFC gyms that's out here. No, you're not a fighter. All you're doing is you're fantasizing that you're a fighter. You still can't fight a fighter. Because like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. See? So you might think you're a fighter, but the second you get punched in your face, you get a rude awakening by a guy who's a fighter because they know how to hit. See, all self-defense situations, I don't got no beef with you as a fighter. You could be a fighter. You're not going to come up and start fighting me. For what reason? What problem I got with you, Mr. Fighter? I ain't got no problem with you, Mr. Fighter. You see, but if I have a problem with you, Mr. Fighter, here's what I'm going to do. See? Like Joe Rogan said, I'll poke him in the eyes or kick him in the nuts. No. I'm not going to poke you in the eyes or kick you in the nuts. I am going to blind you. See, there's a difference. I'm going to do with everything in my heart, all the passion I have in my body, with the will to survive, self-preservation. With the PhD, I'm going to be passionate, I'm going to be hungry, and I'm going to be driven to survival because I know that you may know how to fight, and I don't know how to fight. But I know how to do what I know how to do really, really well. So I'm going to get in front of you. I'm going to set you up. You ain't never going to see it coming. I'm going to use the element of surprise. I'm going to use everything under 21 laws of street self-defense. And I'm going to go first because I practice self-offense, not self-defense. So when I go, if you know how to fight, that's okay. And if I lose, so be it. But I tell you what, you got to get it the old-fashioned way. You had to earn it. Because every chance I get, I'm going to try to cripple you. I'm going to try to blind you. I'm going to try to relieve you of all your wind. I'm going to do everything I can to shut you down. And I'm not going to play no games with you. I'm never going to give you a chance. Why? Because you never give a man a second chance to hurt you. You see the difference in mindset? I teach my people. I win, you lose. Train to win. Period. Train for survival. Period. I don't have a choice. If you are in the street with your family and some guy who might be a fighter trying to hurt you and your family, what the hell does that mean to you? You can't give a damn about that. You got to do what you got to do. And a real person who practices reality-based street self-defense, they're not going to come at you with no knife so you can grab their hand, turn it around and stab you. Oh, no! They're going to use that blade with so much intent, and that blade is going to bounce, it's going to flow, it's going to think. I want to use my whole entire body, that I promise you that if I go first, there's no fighter that's shutting you down. Because you can't defend against something you don't practice against. You can't defend against something you don't see. You can't defend against something you never came across in your life. See? That's the difference between fighting the guy who wants to fight you and then fighting the guy who wants to kill you. So, Mr. Rogan is right. We need to bring the respect back to the martial arts. because nobody got respect for that crap that's out there now. So, I hope this video was helpful for some of you guys who are practicing that way. Change the way you think. Change the way you think, or you're going to have a rude awakening when you get out into the streets. Because the streets are unforgiving. Never give a man a second chance to lose.